Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on Married to Medicine. I know the season hasn't started, but baby, the conversation has. So there's a clip of Dr. Heavenly talking with Quad. You know, she has her YouTube channel. Shout out to her. And basically, Dr. Heavenly is asking Quad how she feels about having to film this upcoming season with her ex-husband Dr. G and his new wife. And if y'all didn't see it, basically Quad is saying that, she's been on the show since the very beginning and it was an uncomfortable thing for her. And where's the respect for her? Now, child, y'all know I couldn't keep my mouth closed when I heard that. I was like, what? The respect? We talking about respect? I know you lying. Now, when it comes to this show, we have watched Mariah be disrespected, humiliated, mistreated. We've seen her beg for a spot on this show. We've seen her grovel, apologize, try to rebuild with these women, and they still threw her away. They still discarded her. They lied on this lady. They maligned this lady. So for Quad to think that she's owed some type of respect, it's laughable to me. So we watch Quad orchestrate a Mariah takedown season 2. We watch you ice out the girl who put the group together, the girl who put the show together, the girl who spent her own money trying to shoot a pilot time and time and time and time again before this thing finally took off and it was picked up by a major network like Bravo. We watch you basically push this girl out of her position. And you expect some type of what? We also watch you shit on these group of women. We also watch you give these women your ass to kiss once you thought bigger and better opportunities were coming your way when you joined Sister Circle. So for her to be like, where's my respect? I've been here since day one. Girl, are you serious? I'm sorry, but Quad always been fake to me. That first season of Married to Medicine, these women didn't want nothing to do with you. Dr. Jackie literally called you a pet project. And you were able to look past that. But you were upset that Mariah said to somebody in passing that she made you a star. That upset you. But all the slick comments that Simone and Dr. Jackie and Toya and Carrie, all the comments that they were making about you did not piss you off. But you ended your friendship with Mariah because Mariah said she made you a star. I can understand how that would upset someone. I really do. Like, I get if Quad felt the way about that, or she called you ghetto, or she implied that you were from the hood. I can understand why that would make a person upset, but this lady moved you to Atlanta. She paid your rent. She got you a job, and then got you another job on this show. Any friend that's willing to pay your rent, that's not a friend you throw away. I'm sorry. The fact that we even know who you are is because Mariah helped you out. And I'm not saying that Quad owes Mariah her life. I'm not saying she even has to be friends with her anymore. But I'm just saying for me, someone who went through all of that to help me, that's not a friend I'm throwing away. I know that there is so much more to Mariah and Quad's beef that we probably will never truly know. But I'm not throwing a friend like that away. And I feel like you did the stuff that you did to Mariah on this show and it served you. You thought those people weren't looking at you sideways? Yeah, they probably loved that you did it. They loved that they had someone that they could play with, that they could use to take her out because they had their own issues with Mariah. They loved that they could utilize you to take Mariah down, for sure. But you thought that they respected you? This is your real life friend. This is someone you've known way before there was ever a Married to Medicine. And this lady helped you move to the new city, helped you get on your feet, got you your pharmaceutical job. And then when she created this show, she went to bat for you to get you on the cast. And then because of a small little argument, a small little disagreement, you throw your friendship with her away for a group of women who never wanted you around in the first place. And you thought that these people watching you do this was going to respect you. So I don't know about y'all, but season 2 was really hard for me to watch. Y'all remember the fashion designer that Quad brought on the show season 2. He's the one who did Candy's wedding gown, and he was friends with Mariah. He was friends with Quad. I think he went to college with Quad, but he was really good friends with Mariah as well. So he said basically after season 1 of Married to Medicine took off and it had all this buzz around it, he asked Mariah to do a photo shoot for him for something. Mariah was unavailable, so he was trying to be catty and was like, well, what's Quad's number? I'm going to ask her since you can't do it. So apparently that's what started the rivalry between Quad and Mariah, that Quad was a breakout star and Mariah wanted to be the star and she was jealous of Quad. I don't feel that she was jealous of Quad necessarily, but if you ask me to do something and then because I cannot do it for you and you want to punish me by trying to throw Quad in the mix, I can see how an argument can get started. I can see how things can go wrong with that. And if someone goes back and relay the message to Quad a certain type of way with a certain tone, I can see how they fell out. Like, I could see how things could get started. I really can. And then on top of that, you have the network pushing Quad to the front and pushing Mariah to the back. And then they iced her out and all the other things that followed behind it. I could see how things can get started. What I didn't like about Mr. Rico's presence on that show that season was he was coming with this aggressive energy towards Mariah. Everybody saw it. And this man is a tall man. This is a man. At the end of the day, he's very tall. He was coming very aggressive towards Mariah, like he wanted to fight her. If y'all remember, they were going to some event and they was talking up about what they was going to do when they saw Mariah. When he got there, he bucked up on Mariah and they had to be separated. I mean, that guy was acting like he wanted to put hands and feet on Mariah. There was no regard for her. They didn't care about her safety. They didn't care about how she felt, if she was comfortable, nothing. There was no regard for her respect. And then when Mariah filed for a restraining order, Quad and Toya went to court to make sure it was thrown out. But now we're supposed to care that Dr. G and his new wife are going to be filming. And then I also saw somebody on Twitter, baby. People on Twitter are funny. This guy on Twitter, I think he used a tweet that I made about this situation and said he wouldn't be surprised if Mariah was the one who orchestrated all of this because she's still an EP on the show. I thought that was a reach because we've been seeing Dr. Simone and Cecil hanging out with Dr. G and his new wife for a while. They've been posting pictures for a while. How is it Mariah's fault? Mariah she's the EP, but she don't even have the power to put herself back on the show. But it's Mariah's fault? Y'all be doing too much. And as far as Quad having to be around her abuser, this is the thing with that. I like to believe women. I like to believe what they say. I don't like to poke holes in nobody's abuse claims. I'm not that girl. But the thing about that is, like, we didn't know nothing about no abuse. While this show was on, we ain't really know nothing about the abuse. We do now. Season 1, Toya brought it to our attention that both Quad and her husband were arrested right before their wedding for putting hands on each other. We didn't really hear too much more about no abuse between them. We knew that, yeah, financially he wasn't giving her what she wanted. We knew that there was some stuff going on with them, but they didn't share that with us. Quad did not share that with us. And I'm sorry, Quad the fraud, that fits her perfectly because there's so much that you never shared with us. You was in everybody else's business. You was digging up what Dr. Darren was doing when he was cheating on Lisa Nicole, but you wasn't sharing with us anything. It's like you guys were this cute couple. You was throwing him birthday parties. But in real life, y'all were living a separate life. You lived in one bedroom and he lived in another bedroom. Y'all weren't really together like that. And then when he cheated on you, even though you guys y'all weren't living as husband and wife, and he went out there and tried to get, fulfill his needs elsewhere, you played this role of this wife that was just done wrong. So it's kind of hard to believe too much of what Quad has to say. And like, I understand, like, everybody don't want to put all their personal struggles out there for the world to judge. I get that. But it's like, we don't know nothing about it. How can we feel for you? We didn't know nothing about it. I mean, the first time we really even knew anything about the abuse is when they were already getting a divorce. And Dr. G claimed that she pulled out a knife on him. And Quad said, yeah, you slammed me to the ground. Like I said, I don't like to poke holes in nobody abuse claims. I'm not that girl. I don't do all of that. I really don't like to get involved in all of that. But it's like, we can't really defend what we don't know nothing about. And from the looks of it, it seemed like y'all was beating each other up. Y'all was both putting hands on each other. And I don't like that. That's not my lane. I don't like to get involved in that type of stuff. But that's just what it looks like. And you have every right to not want to be around him. But like I said, we didn't know nothing about it. When you guys were on camera, y'all always presented as y'all was this couple. Y'all was this power couple. You know, my husband went to the University of Chicago and he went to the same school as President Barack Obama. And he is not a psychologist. He is a psychiatrist. Like, we never knew nothing about this man beating you up. Like, we don't know nothing about that, Quad. So it's kind of like when she's like, oh, well, where's my respect? It's like, girl, what are you talking about? Now, clearly we knew something wasn't quite right. Because, I mean, I feel like it was the same reunion. Was it the same reunion? Or was it a different reunion? The reunion, I think she had on white. I could be wrong. But it was the reunion where we found out that he had a little incident with some woman at a hotel room. I think that was also the same reunion where Dr. Simone had filed for divorce from Cecil. And the whole cast banded together and was like, nah, you're not even finna do that. That's not finna go down. And Toya stepped up and was like, no. And the fact that they didn't do the same for Quad and Dr. G was very, very, very telling. It was like, So basically, none of y'all think that they should be together. Because when I say there was no effort, not 1 ounce of an effort put to like, let's see what we could do, what we could figure out, what we could talk something over, like nothing. But y'all saw it. I don't know. I just kind of feel like with Quad, it's just like everything that everyone is mad at Mariah for doing, Quad has also done. And they've given you multiple chances and they've forgiven you multiple times. But girl, them theatrical speeches, girl, don't nobody care nothing about that. Like, that stuff has kind of, the novelty of Miss Quad has worn off. Like, I know that people still like you, and that's good. You know, that's real good that people still like you. But I just feel like, what is it really doing for the show at this point? Like, these speeches that you be giving, girl, don't nobody want to hear all of that no more. To really be honest, if I was the production team, I would have been over Quad a long time ago. When she was on Sister Circle, like, she really had this rude, pompous attitude. Like, she didn't need y'all no more. So the way that Quad would talk about herself, yeah, I built this and I did this for me and I did this for me, it sounded like you don't need the show. So when you heard that Dr. G and his wife were going to be on the show, you didn't have to come back. Why come back? If you know your worth, how about you sit out a season and see what Dr. G and his wife are bringing? But you came back because you already know. You know you need this check. You know you need to be on this show. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, where's the respect for me, girl? Where's the respect for yourself? Why did you come back? Because there's no way I'm going to sit up there with my ex-husband and his new wife if this man beat on me. And from what it looks like, because we don't really know too much about anything, it don't look like that lady's really bothering Quad. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I don't think she is. It just don't really seem like that lady is problematic. She's not giving problematic. Like, I really hope that Miss New Wife is not causing problems for Quad. Because at the end of the day, regardless of how I feel about what Quad has done on this show, I'm never here for the foolishness. Okay? Not that type of foolishness, at least. But it don't seem like she's bothering Quad. So if she ain't bothering Quad, then if I was Quad, I would continue to pretend as if I'm unbothered. If you are involved in the medical community in that part of the world, in Atlanta, you part of that social setting, then this is not your first time running into them. This is not your first time seeing him or her. And she's friends with Simone, and Simone is part of the group, and Simone is plugged in, and then that means they're plugged in. You done seen this woman before. So I don't see why she can't be on the show. Now, if she's bothering Quad, if she's starting things with Quad, even still, that's what y'all do on these shows. Y'all be messy. Y'all are messy. Y'all like to... I mean, you sat up on this show and accused Mariah of doing drugs. You sat up on this show and accused Lisa Nicole's husband of being gay and cheating on her with the man, and you brought the man on the show. I mean, Heavenly basically called you out and said you be sleeping with other people's husbands. I mean, a lot has gone on this show. So if the new wife comes on here and she ain't bothering you, I don't feel like that's disrespectful to Quad. Now, if they're putting Quad in a situation where her and Dr. G have to interact, if they're forcing interactions between Quad and Dr. G, then yeah, I'm going to say something about it because I don't think that would be okay. But if the girl is in the group, I don't see what's the problem. There have been times where people didn't want you at the, couples retreats, and you felt like you had the right to be there. Well, if they're offering this woman a check and they say, hey, y'all want to come over here and make some money and be on TV, I don't see why the lady should turn it down because Quad was on the show first. You helped kick Mariah off of her own show. You kicked Mariah off of the show that she created, out of the friend group she put together. So, I mean, I'm just trying to understand, like, if I'm the execs, if I'm the production team, I'm looking at you like, girl, bye. It was all good when we used you to do it to Mariah. It should be all good now where, you're in the hot seat now. You're in an uncomfortable position. You're over here trying to navigate, treacherous waters. I don't feel any kind of bad for Quad. Like, I really don't. Like, if that man really did abuse you, if you were really in an abusive marriage, I feel for you. Like, I don't like to hear nothing like that. But it's looking more like y'all were not compatible. Y'all should have never gotten married. You used him for what you needed to use him for. He used you for what he needed to use you for. You came out on top. You still living off of, whatever he gave to you. And it is what it is. You got what you needed from that marriage, and what you didn't need, when it no longer served you, you got out of the marriage. I don't want to speak on whether or not she was a battered wife or not. I just feel like you got what you needed. He got what he needed. It was unpleasant for the both of you, and y'all have both moved on. But see, this show right here, you don't own this show. This ain't your show. You had the choice of whether or not you wanted to come back, and you chose to come back. Because it was already going all over the blogs that you weren't coming back. You weren't returning to the show. So, I mean, girl, I guess, yeah, I don't really know. But one thing I do know is that I will be watching this season because it looks like it's going to be all types of mess. Like, I haven't watched one season without Mariah. But this season, I'm going to be watching. Because, and then that's another thing. They done brought Phaedra to the show. I don't know if y'all know or if y'all remember, but Phaedra and Mariah had beef. They're really bringing Phaedra onto Mariah's show. Yeah, I think I'm going to be watching this season, and I love Mariah. And Mariah, as far as I know, she still gets an EP check. So Mariah, yeah, girl, I wasn't watching when you wasn't on, but this season, I'm going to be tuned in. I'm going to be tuned in this season because it's going to be a whole bunch of mess. It's going to be a whole bunch of mess, and I'm here for it. So, yeah, I will be reviewing Married to Medicine this season. So, please tune in. Tune into my videos, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. Thanks for watching.